So we've got breaking news with the release of the monthly jobs report. CNBC's Dominic Chu has the numbers for us, and MSNBC's Stephanie Ruhle is here with a Trump tweet about that number 2 hours before it became official. But Dom, let's start with you. Pretty good numbers. We always heard through the Obama administration you want to be around 200,000. You need to stay around 200,000. We haven't seen that all the time in the Trump administration, but today, a good day for job seekers.
Correct. And so the reason, well, let's get the headline number first. It's plus 223,000 jobs. So that comes in handily better than expectations from economists. Unemployment stays steady at 3.8%, which is the lowest since we've seen since April of 2008. A lot of attention will be paid to upside revisions. Over the last 2 months, the Labor Department has now revised upward their count for jobs created by 15,000. That's over the last 2 months prior to May. Wages, a big thing for a lot of employers out there and employees as well. 0.3% better than last month, but 2.7% better than it was year over year. So yes, wages are growing, albeit at a stubbornly slow rate. A couple of other highlights to throw in there. A lot of this was driven by private sector employment. The biggest gains came in retail, where 31,000 jobs were added. Healthcare, where around 29,000 jobs were added. And then in construction as well, 25,000. The U6 unemployment rate, it sounds jargony, but this is what many consider to be the real rate of unemployment. That is underemployed people as well. 7.6%, lowest since May of 2001. Also want to point out that, again, President Trump likes to tout this. African-American unemployment at 5.9% remains at the lowest on record since the Labor Department started keeping track of this. This does bring in total the average gains in employment for the past 3 months to around 179,000. So, Joe, to your point, it is not yet at that 200,000 mark, but the gains continue. But that's going to be a source of huge debate about whether or not the job growth situation is slowing at this stage.
Joe, there's something else to debate about. You can rock on it and say these numbers are great, and they are. The issue is that the president told the market they were great an hour before it was public. The jobs number lockup could not be taken more seriously in Washington. The president is in a position to move markets. And if precedent is what it normally is, the president gets those numbers last night. And he doesn't say a word because you do not want to impact markets. At the very least, he said that over an hour ago because he wants all eyes to be on the market, so we're focused on it, so we can say, great job, the market's great, which we're doing. At the absolute worst, he tipped off the market, and you will look back on this and see where algos started to trade as soon as he put that tweet out. And then I'd like to knock on the door of the SEC and say, pardon me, sir, did the president of the United States just move markets? Because if he did, that's a big old problem.
I wonder if the SEC also might be looking at some of Donald Trump's closest friends, billionaires, to see their trading patterns. Because the president receives the information, Dom, the night before. It'd be very interesting to see certain investments among Donald Trump's closest friends in the future. But let me ask you about a couple things. First of all, have you ever heard of a president or anyone tipping their hands about a jobs report up until today? And number two, Dom,